Hey guys, what's going on? It's Ando, and it's been a while, so welcome back. And this video is going to be mostly centered around our account, but also some wrap up, some news and stuff like that, and some kind of, I don't know, speculation of what I think is going to happen in the game of Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. Okay guys, so it's been a little bit since I've done one of these, but luckily nothing's really changed super much with this stuff right here, so we'll kind of breeze through this. I'm still running JMK Cat. That is the best team. The only variation with it is some people are putting in Cam instead of gas. From what I've seen on defense, it's actually easier whenever someone puts in Cam, but from what I've seen on offense, when you're controlling everything, it does seem like Cam is probably your better option. So either or though, like honestly, either one gets you to first. Just JMK Cat plus a few extra people will do it. I do think that this was a bit of a change from the last one because I think it's been a while. But our last video, I think we had the 5-star executor. I did go ahead and drop 16,000 crystals. It was a crazy amount. We had, I think, a little over 20,000 saved up, so it brought me back down to like the 4,000 area, 4,000 or 5,000 area, I forget which one. And we bumped executor up to 7-star because I really saw it as a really huge competitive advantage. And like, I won't say that I was right, or like that was that bold of a take to make, but it certainly did provide a huge advantage whenever it comes to what you can off meta counter, how well the off meta counter works against it, and stuff like that. So for those of you guys that's coming out soon, that is an option. If that is an option for you, I would highly suggest it. It's really good. And again, it's about creating, especially if you're a GAC person, not so much about like Fleet Arena, but if you're a GAC person, it's about creating as much tactical advantage as you can, given what you've got, basically, so I know a lot of people I think are already on that path. They saw what a lot of people did, like myself, and now they're gonna do it this time. They're gonna spend the 15,000 crystals or whatever it's gonna be for them. But yeah, like I think that was actually well spent, especially because of the way that like Lord Vader and Maul were separated out. Gaining that advantage from fleet grounds is pretty good. So and then we finished our GAC season, and it was really close to being like awesome, but our second to last match we faced up against another streamer. It was a fun stream, and we lost, unfortunately. But I will say this was my first Division 1 season. I kind of went into it in a rush, but I'm glad I did it. It was fun. I learned a ton. I learned about where my roster is definitely lacking some and stuff like that. So anyways, we finished 59th. Again, not bad at all. We went 11-1, and even missed quite a few feats in there too. So what's crazy to me about that is that means that, like, I would venture to say, just because I did miss some feats and I know I failed to full clear at least once, maybe twice, that I would venture to say that maybe 40 people, and if we wanted to be really safe, we could say 50 people, but I would be willing to bet probably 40 people or less went 12-0 in Division 1. It is a very insanely tough division. People told me, oh yeah, you know what, it's super easy, your matchmaking's gonna be better. I will say this: it's easier for you to get a top rank. Like I said, I lost one. If you lose a battle in Div 2 these days, it feels like you've already bumped yourself out of the top 50. I lost an entire battle, and I'm still 59th. And like I said, I didn't full clear twice. Like, again, those things that you do that in Division 2, that's automatically you're like already like feels like in the thousands. So so I will say that. But as far as the matchups that I had, I mean, it was just week after week after week after week. of just really good accounts, really good players, well-known players, streamers, or just players from really good guilds, or rematches, which I really hate. If you guys have been out on the stream before, you guys know how much I hate rematches, because you have a game plan, right? And then they have a game plan, and there's just so much that goes into it, right? And it's just almost a little bit more stressful than it needs to be. So glad that the season's over. It was a pretty good season, and yeah. I'm still with Alpha Squad, very good guild. Think within the last time, right, we've got the TW changes. We've gone back up to 50 out of 50. We're fighting in the big boys squad, and man, there's another learning curve waiting to happen there too, guys. Like it's insane. I don't know if they're gonna keep it. I don't know if CG is gonna keep the the 50 team split or what. Or if they're going to keep it, they're going to extend the time, but it's certainly big boy rules up there. So yeah, overall, everything's looking good. Excited for this round of TW, honestly. Just looking forward to just continuing to hone in that game mode now too. It's a lot of fun for me. I know it's not everyone's cup of tea, and but yeah, so let's go ahead and look into what we've done with the roster since, because there's quite a bit. Okay, so last time we were here, I didn't have like a lot of I had like all the gear 13s finished, but I was just waiting for signal data. The relic material was never the issue. It was always the signal data. So once we got the signal data, we pushed through, and I think by that time, basically once I got to gear 13 on all characters, I did not spend any regular energy. So I refreshed it, I think up to 1000 on, I don't remember how many days it took me, 3 or 4 days or whatever, just doing the 50s. And then after that, you can't refresh it anymore. I just collected the 3 times a day the extra energy. So I think that's like maybe 130 or something like that energy that you collect throughout the day. And yeah, I think after I think I ended up with like 4,100 or something like that. So almost the day of me unlocking the event, I also had a Lord Vader almost 7-star. I think I needed 2 or 3 battles left. I understand that it's not very efficient, and if you're the kind of person that doesn't have all GLs, like you can't afford to do that. But for me, I have all GLs, or I had them before Lord Vader came out. But yeah, if this is like your Lord Vader's like your second GL or something like that, you're not gonna be able to do that, right? So because regular energy gets you gear, you need to gear, you still need gear beyond that. But luckily through SWGoH events, I knew that I had the gear ready to go. And for me, it's usually not the regular energy stuff that I'm short on. It's usually the gear 12 plus purple salvages that I'm short on. Med packs, Nubian scanners, trying to remember some of the syringes, right? Like those are the ones that I'm always short on. So regular energy for me was pretty easy. Like I was able to do that. And I actually just today got him up to relic 7, waiting to see if I can put him up to relic 8. You can see my mods on him right now. I'm really hesitant because putting 6E on mods right now is much like relic levels. I have ran out of mats. Like I feel like I'm upgrading less than ideal mods, which is fine. Again, because this character probably doesn't need the nastiest mods ever, right? Like he's gonna be good without him. But I wanted to wait, or at least in my head I think I'm gonna wait a little bit, probably not too much longer. I really wanted to wait for Maul, really, because I want to see what's gonna happen, right? There's gonna be something that happens, we know that. With Maul coming out, Maul is gonna make it to where someone's gonna be like, oh, if you have a fast set on Lord Vader, it makes this off meta counter for him completely, it nullifies it, right? Like it doesn't do it, right? If he starts first, it doesn't matter. So right now I don't have a ton of speed on him, right? And so I'm kind of waiting to see that right before I go full in on the 6Es. However, even if I probably just need to do the 6Es and just come to terms with it, and then if it needs adjusting, then those become pilot mods or something like that, or they go on someone else or something. So it's always that mod adjusting game that's like, it never seems like that ends. So yeah, for sure, mods is still something that I worry about, you know, all the time. But yeah, like you can see what I'm short here, the electriums and the impulse detectors. Now the electriums, I just made one to make them up to 7. These ones aren't too bad. I just got a fully crafted gear, and these ones obviously help a ton, so I could almost make one right now, or another one I should say. Thank you Sith Raid for that one. But the ones that definitely hurt right now for me are these impulse detectors. My goodness, dude, like I can't create any more of these things. Like I pretty much have enough to where I've got Maul's gear, or the guys that I want to gear after him, because there's still a line of TW made it to where it's like, okay, I really need to reevaluate my list of who needs to get worked on now. So there's definitely some people in there that I need to work on. But Maul right now is my priority, and like I was actually stoked about this because I went with Maul as my next guy, and based off of the SWGoH events gears list, I actually have all of his gear. I was short, I think like 40 or so comlinks, Mark IV comlinks, but I'd been farming for those for my dark side tickets for Vader, and I got them all. So I'm good. Like I'm good to go. Like he'll probably be gear 13 relic 0 for a bit because I am still short on signal datas. You can see as I'm trying to get my Vader up and running, you know, I don't have a ton of them here, right? Like there's definitely some that feel like they're gonna run out soon. So yeah, long story short is we did get Vader, and Maul looks like a sure lock-in as well. We will get him this time around, which is going to be awesome. Everything from everyone's account, you know, this guy's going to change Vader, so I do look forward to that. I haven't used Vader at all, to be honest, but yeah, I unlocked him like the last week of GAC. So yeah, other than that, guys, yeah, we've moved up a lot in GP. I think, I mean, I barely made it into Div 1 at the opening of the season, so we've already made it, you know, almost 100 to almost 200k beyond, which is just insanity. But yeah, other than that, guys, I guess this is where we'll just start talking about the news. You know, I made the video about TW and all that good stuff, but Fennec Sean was released, and I didn't do a kit reveal. I was really busy. You can tell by my, you know, video releases, I've been a little bit busy. So I haven't been able to kind of do some of the stuff that I wanted to do. But what I will say is that she looks really, really good. She doesn't look amazing. She doesn't look terrible. Like, she just looks like she's interesting. I'm very, very intrigued by her, quite honestly. There's some really nice things that she does. Every call to assist, she's gonna be hitting 5 times, which is amazing for a ton of bounty hunter contracts, right? Like that's a huge hit coming in. So she seems really, really good. She's gonna help out the bounty hunters. But I will say this, stuff within her kit makes me think that we're gonna get other stuff, right? And it's not just that's not the only reason why, but like there's things built within her kit that I'm like, wait, that's not really a known, like that's not really a common thing that we see. Specifically, I believe it's her basic, where she does more damage if they don't have protection. Now I know that Lord Vader doesn't have protection, right, and like his team doesn't have protection, but I don't know, like that's not really I don't think that's what they're probably going for here. So I'm really curious to see what is in store, and we know at least 2 more characters are coming out. The data mine that showed up through the SWGoH events Discord that pushed into our Discord, we were able to see that there's 2 more character packs, which means there's 2 more marquees. Now, is one of those a ship? You know, is one of them Fennec Sean ship? I don't know. Is both of them characters? I don't know. You know, again, I think whenever it says those, though, I'm pretty sure like those pack names, I'm pretty sure it's just a character. So I think we're gonna see at least 2 more characters, but we do know that we're gonna get an October road ahead, probably at the end of the month. So I would assume, you know, within probably you know, 10 to 15 days of the release from this video, we'll be having a road ahead post. And I anticipate in that road ahead post, they're going to talk about how the Clone Wars era is done. They've had a really great time doing it. And that brought us, 2 new Galactic Legends, and that they're going to be focusing on the next thing. Now, the good question is what is that next thing? There's a ton of people talking, so it just depends on what you guys think, they have access to. Is it gonna be the Book of Boba? I don't know. Book of Boba is, I think, slated to come out right after Christmas. So they've got a lot of time to build up to that. So it does kind of make me wonder, like, okay, so what do we see? Are they going to, I won't say spoil anything, but are they going to build kits based off of maybe season 2 Mando? So we would get, the dad bod Boba, as people call him, or whatever you want to call him. I don't know. It's just tough to say, guys. I think a lot of people probably hold the sentiment too that, no one is Galactic Legend worthy at this point. And so, yeah, I would kind of wonder, like, what the heck we're going to get. Because I think that of the people that we still need to get, at least from looking back, Fennec Shand, this version of her was definitely the one that we saw in season 2 of Mando. So there was a ton of characters that we thought we could get, like Mayfield. There's some other ones we listed out. They could be going and recircling back into the the Imperial Remnant faction, right? We're still missing that 5th person there. There's a bunch of teams that they kind of left for us to fill in, but they never really filled us in. So I'm kind of wondering, do we circle back to that? And then the other thing I'm wondering about is, hey, does one of those people have some sort of ability where they're going to take their allies and have them have no protection? Or is this just meaning that, like, they think that you're going to just basically finish people off with Fennec, right? Like, you're going to wipe out their protection, and then Fennec's going to come in and just deliver that, that final blow. I don't know, guys. It's interesting to think about, but let me know what your guys' thoughts are for sure, because I'm definitely curious to see. Fennec looks really good. I've seen some really convincing stuff from Van Seal and a few other people. Gas getting countered now by some bounty hunters, or at least more easily. Like, that was a thing before, but now it's more easy because of the basic mechanics and stuff like that. So definitely curious to hear what you guys think. That's going to cover, I know it wasn't really a state of my account. This was sort of more of a news and a brief synopsis of the state of my account. But we will start pushing back into the more regular release videos, guys. I promise you guys. Just, real life has to take a little bit of priority sometimes, right? Let me know what you guys' thoughts are for sure on this stuff, and hopefully we'll get some news soon. All right, thanks, guys, and we'll catch you guys in the next one.